Welcome back to the College Rugby Show, our first episode of the spring semester, and it's spring, so it's 7 season. Very exciting. We're going to talk the CRC. We're going to talk all things sevens. But first, I got to introduce you to my seven squad, starting with the former All-American from Life University, two-time CRC champion, CRC MVP in 2017. She was a Women's Premier League All-Star, played for Team and PR7s, and since 2021, she's been lighting up our broadcast as a play-by-play announcer. Darian Lovelace, welcome to the show.
Oh my goodness, that was an intro and a half. I'm honestly just honored to be here and to be able to talk shop about women's rugby. I love to talk smack. So being able to do it here, especially at the day and age where women's rugby is at, I couldn't be more grateful and I couldn't be more excited.
Heck yeah, let's do it. It's a lot of fun talking women's rugby with the bronze medal in our hands. We get to claim it, right? The whole rugby community? We will anyways.
I think so.
Yeah, there we go. And then joining us up front in the front row with me, anchoring us, is our man, Zach Lanning. You know him as the Holy Cross B-Side Player of the Year as a freshman phenom. One season with the Bayonne Bombers. He created, produced, and hosted the College Rugby Wrap-Up, and he continues to produce and edit the Rugby Wrap-Up and the Rugby Odds. Our man, Zach Lanning. Being promoted this year, Zach, you're not just a sometimes contributor. You're an every-time host. Welcome back, my man.
Pat, it is so great to be here. Glad to be back. I'm glad that you liked enough of what you saw on tape last time I was out here to bring me back in full. Little bum that you went with my resume after you read Darian's very impressive resume, but it's an honor to be beside such a talented sevens player and broadcaster as well, and Darian. So I'm excited to have a great seventh season talking some rugby with both of you.
It's going to be a great show. All right, here's what we got lined up for you. Perry Baker, ever heard of him? Two-time World Rugby Player of the Year. Dallen, Stanford. Roz Chou, four-time CRC national champion head coach, Darian's former head coach. We're going to let those two get back in the locker room and have a chat later. We're going to talk who's in for the CRC. We got a bunch of teams already qualified, already booked their ticket to Maryland. We're going to tell you exactly who that is and break it down division by division. We got tons of action from the Peach Cup. Zach and I were down at Hotlanta last weekend, and we had a men's Premier Cup team qualify, men's Division III. We've got tons of footage and highlights from that. But first, let's talk about the road to the CRC, the 15th annual Collegiate Rugby Championship, the last weekend in April, there in Boyd's, Maryland, at the Maryland Soccerplex for the third year in a row. We've got 144 teams coming, split across 8 divisions, 4 men, 4 women, all seeking a national championship. 64 of those teams will automatically qualify through a qualifier tournament held throughout the country starting last month, including this last weekend, and going all the way up into mid-April. 14 have already qualified and punched their ticket to the CRC, and we're going to talk about them right now, starting with the women. Darian, why don't you dive us through these women who have already qualified for the CRC there in Maryland?
And we've got a lot of sides, 16 side per each division. And starting off, this is kind of a soft spot for me. American International College, they're the Yellow Jackets. Found out I was allergic to Yellow Jackets there when I played, but they're the first team to qualify. They were exceptional in their defense last year, and they proved it this time when they went to Frostbite Sevens. They were 4-0. Unless they played against Westchester where they lost 21-19, but then they bounced back with a 43-0 win over Penn State in that final. If they can play the defense and build on the attack, they're going to be quite the contender here in the Premier bracket for the NCR. And then the next one that we've got to talk about, D1, we've already got 3 teams that have qualified: Florida State, Central Florida, and Iowa, each one giving an exceptional performance. Florida State dominated, and they were resilient when they played against UNC 22-12. Central Florida and Iowa both punched in their ticket when they dominated in the final. A little bit of a bumpy road there for both sides, but they came back, and when they did, they showed why they were going to qualify for the D1 bracket. And now let's talk about the D2 side. All 4 teams played exceptional defense throughout the weekend. Coastal Carolina, they're no stranger to the CRCs, multiple times and multiple awards to this side. But 2 sides we need to talk about is going to be Arkansas, they only had 5 points scored against them for the whole weekend. And then Georgia Tech, they lost to Coastal Carolina 14-5, but they still were able to get that bid into the CRCs. This is going to be their first year here, and Lord only knows how excited you can get down in the South to be able to compete. The final bracket that we're going to talk about is D3. We've only got one qualifying tournament that's taken place, and that's going to be Drury University, another team that this will be their first opportunity to play at the CRCs. They played at the St. Patty Sevens tournament, and they were just able to beat the Colorado School of Mines 27-15. They did it by the skin of their teeth, but it'll all be worth it when they can make their way to Maryland.
That's right. Drury University making their first ever trip to the CRC, beating the Mines, who, led by Piper Lee, were a fantastic team in 15s in the fall. So they were really great. Coastal Carolina has actually won 2 qualifiers already this spring. And because they beat Georgia Tech was able to take that bid because the Chanticleers already had one. And then Arkansas was very dominant. This will be their second year back at the CRC. And I know they're looking to advance further than they did last year. Also the second year back for the Florida State Seminoles, who I know are looking to go around further. And AIC, man, did they look dominant at the Frostbite? Finished 4th last year in the Premier Cup, and I got a feeling that they only lost by 3 to Army in the semifinals, and I feel like that one's kind of sticking in their craw, and they're looking to make it back to the final this year. So it's some exciting stuff. Lots more teams to qualify on the women's side. We have qualifiers every single weekend except for Easter, now to the end until Selection Saturday. So lots more women's rugby to come. Now let's throw it over to Zach Lanning. Tell us who have punched their ticket on the men's side, Zach, to come to Maryland for the largest college rugby tournament in the world.
In the world, Pat, absolutely. And I'm going to switch things up here a little bit as men's D3 commissioner. I got to start with my teams in D3, Division 3 here. We have our first qualifier of the spring season, Wisconsin Eau Claire, who came on down to Atlanta, Georgia, with you and I this past weekend. Pat, we got some great footage of that. And they beat a very talented Christendom side, 26-19 in the final. Perhaps helped, Pat, that a couple of players, Luke Pugh and Calvin Schmitz, were back in Atlanta after a stint with the Midwest Barbarians at All-Star Weekend. Happy as I was that the weather was a little better this time around. So they're the first ones out of Division 3 to go ahead and secure their spot in the CRCs. Division 2, we also have one team as well. We have Colorado Mesa, who won at St. Patrick's Sevens tournament on March 1st down in Aurora, Missouri. The Colorado Mesa Mavericks rolled all over the competition there, Pat, going undefeated in pool play and beating Ole Miss 26-12 to lock up their spot in the Big Dance as well. D1 Club, and just one team as well for the men in D1 Club. Virginia Tech, the Hokies, took the top spot at Terrapin Sevens on March 1st as well. Stifling defense for the Hokies in that one, Pat. They surrendered only 10 points total in pool play on the weekend, shutting out both Northeastern and Delaware. And then they gave up 5 points in the final against host Maryland, but it's okay because they scored 29 points of their own in that one to secure their spot as well. And then finally, we'll end things here with Premier Division. Pat, we got 2 teams who've already clinched their spot. We had at the aforementioned Peach Cup, the defending champs, Wheeling University, looking like they have not even lost a step from last year. They look to be in midseason form. They rolled through the competition there. I have a couple of players returning from that championship side from last year. Aaron Juma, Shadrach Bandaza, both contributing to a dominant tournament there down in Georgia for Wheeling. And then finally, the first team in the Premier on the men's side to qualify was Brown University, who won the Frostbite Sevens in Lancaster. They were trailing AIC in the final of that one, Pat, but they managed to claw their way back and win 17-14 to take the first of the 8 automatic qualifying spots there in the Premier Division.
That's right. AIC, the women won. The men finished second. They almost swept Frostbite Sevens. They could have booked all their tickets, but the men are going to have to wait just a little bit longer probably to punch their ticket. Fantastic play down there at the Peach Cup. I got to ask you, man, Eau Claire, you're the Division 3 commissioner. What did you think of those guys? They looked like they could have played in the Premier Cup bracket, frankly.
I thought they looked really great, Pat. Yeah, they have a lot of athletic guys out there on the pitch. They looked like they were a well-oiled machine. Like I said, they played really great defense as well. They were always kind of around the ball. They looked like they just had a good feel for it. Out there. So I would have loved to see them against some of that Premier Cup talent out there as well in a crossover match. I would put them up against anybody. I think they look great. And they did not enjoy the peaches in the Peach Cup as much, Pat, not as ripe, but it tasted pretty sweet, I think, for them after the victory, is what they told me. So.
The peaches look good. They didn't taste so good. I can tell you they weren't ripe because I purchased them from Kroger's myself. But anyways, it was fun nonetheless. Colorado Mesa, they were dominant in Division II down there in Rolla, Missouri. I hate to ruin a good pun, but my father-in-law went to college there, and I just can't deal with the blowback if I don't correct you on that one. So, but other than that, Wheeling looked really unstoppable down there. Guys, that's it. Those are the teams that have punched their ticket every single week, pretty much, between now and Selection Saturday. More teams are punching their ticket. Make sure you download that NCR app. So pull out your mobile phone, whether you've got iPhone, whether you've got Android, it doesn't matter. Get that NCR app. You can follow every score, every game live in the NCR app from every single one of our automatic qualifiers this season. Darian, Zach, that was fantastic. We'll be right back with more The College Rugby Show very soon.
In a sport of power and precision, you need a powerful and precise camera. Analyze your game. Build your team. Grow together.
Ready? Up.
VO captures moments. A powerful camera for a powerful sport.
Rugby! We have tons of action from the Peach Cup, the Premier and Men's Division III qualifier from Atlanta this last weekend. Without any further ado, we're going to dive straight into it with our top 10 plays from the Peach Cup, live from Silverback Park there in Atlanta. We have defense turning into offense with a great poach from Belmont Abbey here in the black shorts and red top, going left to right against the Alabama Crimson Tide and all crimson. Here we are, Belmont Abbey, 2 offloads in a row, and they sneak through for the try. They would finish second in Pool A behind eventual champion Wheeling and beat Clemson for third place. And now we're down to Division III here. That's Valdosta State with nice Shunbell contorting the offload over to Austin Forsdick, who's going to run it in for the try. The Blazers finish pool play 2-1 and fourth overall. Good showing for Valdosta State. Staying in Division III, we have Christendom versus the Citadel. A loose ball here, well collected by Jade Burkett, who kicks and chases. He's going to collect it himself, win the race, and go all the way for the try. Fantastic score by Christendom, who would go undefeated in their pool and make it to the final. More on that later. And now we've got Wheeling in red, the defending national champ, Alex Nyamunda with a big handoff, and then a no-look offload for the score. The Cardinals, big over Notre Dame in that one, and then you'll see more of them in the final two. And now we've got the Indiana Hoosiers. Luke Peters, the freshman phenom, in-state recruit, up the sideline here on the right, going against the Kutztown Golden Bears, back through Tommy Hannon to the left. And now we're going to hit Owen Welburn into contact, well taken down. IU reshapes sideline to sideline. This is a young Indiana Hoosiers team. This was the pool of death, a 3-way tie at the end of it between Kutztown and Indiana and Clemson. You can stop Peters once, but you cannot stop him twice as he goes in for the score. We're going to stay here with this game, but Indiana, man, was this a tough game. This was the absolute pool of death. Came down to point differential in the end. This is Kutztown answering back through some great phase play. Aiden Smith, a handoff, and then the two-handed torpedo handoff to Chris Cleveland, formerly of Mount St. Mary's. He's already won the CRC before with one school, trying to do it now with a second. And there's the offload to the man, Rowan Sierra, senior from Connecticut. Back to Division III. Wisconsin-Eau Claire. Cal Smits with the huge step after a penalty play, and he's going to trot all the way in here against North Alabama. It was all Eau Claire in that one. We'll see more of them later as well. Clemson versus Kentucky. SCRC rivalry match here. Clemson looking to make a break, but they pass it to the wrong team, and the Wildcats are off to the races. Everett Merritt here with the shimmy shake. He thinks he's away, but he gets caught from behind, and an offload to Alex Turner, who's going to carry it all the way in. Looks like his doppelganger from the rear. The Wildcats just nipped in that one by Clemson, and this time it is Clemson making the highlight. Cole Rinklin, his big 6'5" body on the edge. He is tough to bring down. Stiff arming one guy, bouncing off the other. Tigers finished 4th overall, and here we go. Harrison Tuisala doing it all by himself for Belmont Abbey against Notre Dame, taking his own restart, diving over. What a fantastic freshman from Auckland, New Zealand. Those are your top 10 highlights from the Peach Cup. Plenty more highlights to be made this season. More highlights to be coming for you from the Peach Cup here soon. But first, when we come back, we are going to go to an interview with Dallen, Stanford, and Perry Baker, 2-time World Rugby Player of the Year, right when we come back. All right, welcome. I'm joined here with the Flag X tag team of Perry Baker, Wave Perry, 2-time World Rugby Player of the Year, 3-time Olympian. The Speed Stick himself is joined with Dallen, Stanford, renowned commentator, Cap Sevens Eagle, and head coach of the 2013 Inscro Sevens national champion Occidental Tigers. Welcome to the show, fellas.
Hey, Pat. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, pal.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to talk to you guys and excited to see you guys this spring. But let's start with the simple stuff. Dallen, for the uninitiated, what exactly is Flag X?
Yeah, Pat, FlagX is a fundraising platform that uses sophisticated back-end software, kind of like fantasy football software, together with a supercharged fun game of non-contact rugby. It's for women, it's for men, it's for rugby clubs, it's for colleges, it's for universities. Anybody that wants to connect with their alumni, increase their playing numbers, their base, introduce new people to the game, increase their skill sets, all while raising money for their program. So it's kind of great. It's a co-ed game. Everybody can be involved. We supply the equipment for free. We train people remotely or online. Perry and myself are involved. It's a wonderful program. So it's a Tag X International is the name of the company out of Australia, but in North America, we call the game Flag X.
That is awesome. Always exciting when there's new ways to get engaged with the game of rugby, and this is certainly a new one coming to our shores and to college campuses. Perry, I hear you're might be coming out of retirement one time only to lace it up here at the CRC. Tell us a little bit about that game coming up this spring.
Yeah, I'm excited to come down, be a part of the CRCs, throw a little footy around, play some Flag X. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've been to World Cups, obviously 3 Olympics, but you can finally put the icing on the cake for your resume there with coming to the CRC and getting on the pitch.
Oh, for sure. All about the college athletes.
That's it, my man. All right. Well, you guys are trying to bring Flag X to college campuses. Quite literally, that's what you're doing. And I know a lucky team has won the opportunity for Perry, the man, the myth, the legend himself, to come to their campus for a Sevens coaching session and a Flag X intro. Dallen, who is the lucky team? Who's the lucky winner?
Yeah, so we had a great response from the teams that joined our Zoom, our initial partnership chat. Of course, people are going to meet Kerry when they see him at the CRC. But the team we're going to head out to ahead of the CRC is St. Mary's College of Maryland, their women's and men's program. They're located in St. Mary's City in Maryland. So Perry's going to be there. What a prize. He's going to step some people like park cars.
Yeah, just thanks for taking part of this and this amazing opportunity to have us come out. I'm looking forward to it. And like Dallen said, stepping park cars left and right because that's Flag X.
And Pat, one thing I want to add, because people ask what's the difference between Flag X and other non-contact games. We love all form of non-contact games, but in this game, there's 7 attackers and 6 defenders. At any point in the game, you can kick to advance your attack, like a grubber kick, a chip kick, and there's 5 different scoring boxes with different values. Plus, when you score, you convert by a grubber kick. So there's a bunch of cool extra things that play as well. And in fact, Pat, we heard you're going to join us and play as well at the CRC Sevens.
Well, they better call a couple extra ATs in, get a defibrillator ready, because that is going to be ugly. I don't. Stepping me will be easier than stepping a parked car, so don't worry about it. I love it. More offense, the better, though. 7-on-6, I might have a chance. That sounds like a lot of fun. I can't wait to see you guys out there in Maryland. St. Mary's College of Maryland. What a lucky, awesome opportunity to have two-time World Rugby Player of the Year, Perry Baker, come out, teach him and some Flag X. This is going to be great. Guys, I will see you guys very soon there in Maryland for the CRC. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks for everything you do, pal.
Catch you soon, Pat.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
All right, back to Silverbacks Park in Atlanta, Georgia, where we are going to the finals of the Peach Cup. Here we have Division III Christendom in blue now, going against Wisconsin-Eau Claire, both teams undefeated so far in this tournament. And there he is, a try scorer from our last highlight reel, going in for another one. Christendom taking the early lead. Here we go. Jade Burkett got that one. Wisconsin-Eau Claire answering back, but some strong goal line defense here from Christendom. A penalty. Cal Schmitz, he's going to try and take it. The little scrum half, he gets denied from some stiff goal line defense here. And then it's Andrew Bouchard, the big second row. He gets denied with a double tackle by Christendom yet again, making them work for every single thing. This game was a back and forth, complete seesaw affair, and Eau Claire finally gets it across the line. Here's Christendom going back on attack now. Chris Sanchi makes the break, the show and go, does it all by himself, the scrum half. He'll spin around that goalpost pad and touch it down. And now Eau Claire turning defense into offense. What a huge counter ruck. And some great handling here in contact to finish it off. Cal Schmitz with the assist. A catch and a big carry there right at the line. And Christendom was not done. They answer back here. What a great play from the sophomore. He's able to finish it off, shuck off that tackler. This one came right down to the end, but it was this play right here from Eau Claire that put the nail in the coffin with a great no-look offload. The Sonny Bill, a one-hand offload back inside from Bouchard, the team president. And the Wings going to finish this one off under the post to send Eau Claire to the CRC, the first team in Division III to punch their ticket to Maryland. The Blue Golds looking to follow the women's program and put some national championships on the board. Now we're moving to the Men's Premier Cup. Here we go. Parker Wall, meet Michael Mulea of the Wheeling Cardinals. Parker Wall's not used to losing contact, but he does there. And everyone in rugby, meet Shadrach Mundaza. He is a fantastic player, all lightning for the Wheeling Cardinals. Inside, outside, blows past Luke Peters, could not be caught. Shadrach Mundaza, you're going to hear that name a lot this spring. Peters, he's attacked as well, cannot be stopped. He's his own lightning man, and he crosses over for Indiana to give them a 7-5 early lead as Wheeling had to mount a little bit more of a slower attack here. And this is Panache Magora-Grody getting a try, a long-distance try to put Wheeling up 12-7 going into the break. Only a try separated them at the half. Indiana, they had their chances in the second half. They had a couple of injuries that really hurt them. Here's some great defense. And Michael Mulea just swallowing that ball and slowing it down in the middle of the field. That Cardinal defense, it is stiff. It is difficult to get past, and the Hoosiers were not able to do it. And again, Panache Magora-Grody, a little bit of a tough handle there, but so much space, so much time, and so much pace from Magora-Grody here that he could not be stopped. Wheeling was absolutely dominant in this contest, but they won the second half 26-0, overall 38-7. This is the third straight year the Cardinals have qualified on their first attempt. Wow, they look fantastic. They're unbeatable almost, the Wheeling Cardinals.
Feeling good. You know, we know that we have a lot of guys coming back and a lot of good players that we brought in. We're feeling like we could make another run at it if we keep everybody healthy. So we're just glad to get out here and get an experience. This is a great tournament, very well run, so we're very excited to take the championship home. It's good, it gives us an early look at some of the teams that we're going to see at CRCs. I think 3 of the teams that are here that we played in CRCs last year, so it's good to get them, get a look at them early and see kind of how they progress throughout the season, and hopefully be in a better position again once we play them at CRCs one more time.
And that does it for the action from the Peach Cup. Wheeling Cardinals, they move on. They punch their ticket. The Wisconsin Blue Golds from Eau Claire, they punch their ticket. We have 12 other teams who have punched their ticket to the CRC. It is my pleasure to welcome into the show our back-to-back CRC champion head coach, 4-time CRC champion head coach, Roz Chou, as she is trying to help these Brown Bears prepare for a 3-peat campaign this spring. And who better to interview her and put her on the grill than her former captain and MVP of one of her national championship teams there at Life, on the team both times they won it with the Running Eagles, than Darian Lovelace. So, Darian, I'm going to hand this one off to you. You and Roz got all the history and all the chemistry here. I cannot wait to watch you guys talk little sevens.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that she hasn't heard enough over the past lots of emails, but what an honor to be talking to you now and just have this full circle moment. I mean, it's just incredible. I know a lot about you. Rumor on the street is the Sevens is your part of rugby. Why is that?
Why would you say that?
What?
Well, no, I there's lots of great things about all kinds of rugby, touch rugby, 15s rugby, 7s, 10s. As a player, I loved the freedom. I loved the reading space, being able to be creative and not having so many people in your way. So as a player, I certainly loved sevens because of all of that fast and furious, the festival atmosphere of every tournament. But as a coach, I can't say that I have a favorite. That wouldn't be fair. But certainly I've had a lot of success in sevens specifically. And I would say it's just teaching everybody to love it. Certain people in 15s, maybe they don't want to play sevens, tight head prop. But, everybody needs to know how to read space, how to manipulate defenders, how to pin and pass. So I love 15s, but I would say sevens gives me more time with those lovely forwards that don't get to see me as much in the 15 season, spend some time with me doing the stuff that I love the most.
Guilty as charged. I definitely was one of those forwards that was brought into sevens. And I think the reason why I ask if sevens is your favorite part is because you've had so much success. Last year, you had a major accomplishment. You're tied right now with the most CRC titles, 4 total. You've got 2 with Life University and then 2 with Brown as well. I think the big question is, have you found a recipe to prepare for these national championships that's consistent, or does it change each year with each team?
Well, there's a bit of luck involved. So, carrying a rabbit's foot. No, the other bit is really, what do I got? Who are my personnel? I could do it one way with this team one year. Next year, it's a little bit different. I certainly changed the way I was playing rugby and sevens here at Brown. We actually, and you were part of this discussion, what do you need to make a good sevens team? What are the types of people? You want speed, you want people that work and do the rucking, you want playmakers that can orchestrate, creativity and having people hit gaps, and you want people that can bash people into the ground. So, you get there and you look at them, and actually we did this exercise at Brown just last week. I said, well, maybe at my last institution I had a lot of speed. Maybe I had like 7 people that were fast. Here, maybe I have 10 people that can bash people. So what do we do with that? How do we shape our game plan around that? So it is different, and then you have to think about the elements. What is the style of the tournament? The type of, is it pool play? Do you need lots of points? Do you need to win by just 1 to advance? So there's all of these factors that come into play that it's just worked out for me a few times.
And speaking on how you are always looking at different player strengths and seeing how each player kind of fits into the puzzle, you also have this opportunity to become the coach for the NCR All-Star team that is being taken to Portugal. When you go to these All-Star tournaments and we have these competitions setting up, what are you looking for in those people that are going to get selected to go to play?
Well, they have to fill some roles. You know, you have to have a wide range of players. So certainly if you can have speed across the board, that's going to be a bonus. But can you have a fast person that can play make? Do you have a fast person that can bash? You know, so I'm looking at those really making a difference. Are they winning collisions? Can they catch pass? Can they scan? Can they see what's in front of them? So I'm really looking for those kind of base fundamentals that really will make them shine in a sevens environment.
And I'm not trying to age you here, but you've been involved in rugby for about 2 decades now, not just as a coach, but also as a player. And right now we're at this really cool time with women's rugby. What do you think is the change that we need or are currently seeing that's going to bring the awareness of women's rugby to the U.S.?
I really appreciate that you said 2 decades. Because it's
I had to get a jab in.
Maybe it's been 3 decades. So yes, 2 decades. 2 decades that I've been involved with women's rugby. And with that, I think we're in a great moment. I think someone like Alona Mar has created a wider fan base. I think that's really important because how do we get new fans? How do we get growth in youth programs? How do we get sponsorships for broadcasts? So, and I think Alona Mar, I think sevens is an exciting game. I think it suits the U.S. because our when we have broadcasts, we want a commercial for corporate sponsorships, and that 7-minute spurt allows that to happen. And then the broadcast continuing because you'll have other games. I think it's just a great time. Like maybe it's sevens bringing us all together with Alona Mar's celebrity status. So I think that could help really grow the game. I think people look up to Alona a lot. And I think that, what she challenges with body image and strength and femininity and brings all those things together. And I think hopefully that will continue to propel us forward.
All right, that was been fantastic. That was like, a scene of the past of the old CRC locker room. You guys just chatting it up, figuring out how to get better for the next game. What do we do improve on from the last run out? That was fun to watch. And the Alona Mar effect. This is going to be our first CRC post bronze medal, post Alona Mar effect. I'm excited to see if it has an impact on our viewership in the stands and just the overall excitement that we have there in Maryland. Pack stands.
I'd like to shout out Spiff Cedric, obviously, for her heroics in that bronze medal match. I think all of us that have anything to do with Life University were pretty excited about that. She will be the assistant coach for the All-Americans, so I want to throw that plug in too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Also looking forward to watch the All-Americans this summer as you guys go to Portugal and really look to take it to them. It's going to be a really fun development for you guys. So, Roz, thank you very much for joining us. Great luck this season. We'll see you out there in Maryland.
Yep, thank you. Have a great night.
For Zach Lanning, for Darian Lovelace, that's episode 1 this semester. We're coming back, all sevens, all season. We'll see you guys next month.